Alright, welcome to the first episode of Swift and Sturdy. This is a brand new Pokemon X and Y Wi-Fi battle feature channel. And most of you guys know the drill by now. We're just going to be uploading Pokemon battle videos and providing commentary for it. The commentary can vary for us. It won't always be me, it could be Dan or anybody who is available at the time. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in. This first match that we have for you is a match between Dan and I. And it has some history to it because Dan and I have known each other since we were little kids. And since X and Y came out, he challenged me pretty quickly, which of course was a little bit intimidating because Dan has played competitive Pokemon for a long time, and he's even won a VGC tournament and went to Worlds. And I had never gotten into competitive Pokemon until this generation. So he challenged me to a match, and I actually won the first match, and I was pretty proud of myself. But later down the road, he challenged me again after he got a chance to build a better team, and completely stomped all over me. So we decided to do a set to settle the score. So this is going to be a best 2 out of 3, this being the first match out of that set. So the only thing I'll say about my team before I start is you can see that I have all physical attackers. There isn't a special attacker anywhere on here. And, you know, Pokemon with physical bulk are a huge problem for my team. And Daniel's got a nice bulky Slowbro over there, and that's going to be a problem for me. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so I decided to lead this match off with Sableye because I know that Dan is a really big fan of Trick Room. And, of course, Sableye carries the priority taunt in case he decided to lead with a Trick Room user. But instead he decided to lead with his Tyranitar, which is really unexpected for me because I didn't really see a lot of Sandstorm synergy on Dan's team. So it was just surprising for me that he led with it. So I go for the Will-O-Wisp straight away, expecting Tyranitar to be physical. But, of course, Daniel made a special Tyranitar. And so now I know that basically his whole team is special attackers. Because I was expecting Tyranitar to be one of the only physical attackers he had. So I'm okay with Sableye dying at this point. I don't really need him for anything. Because Sableye is basically only my anti-physical support. And yeah, basically he's just running, you know, Will-O-Wisp, Recover, Taunt, and actually right now he has Zen Headbutt because I didn't level him up enough to get Foul Play by this point. So I go for the Will-O-Wisp and finally get it off just for the residual damage to help taking out this Tyranitar later on. But Daniel does show me that he has Fire Blast when he kills the Sableye, which is very important for me because I have two options to take out Tyranitar. I can either take it out with my Scissor or my Azumarill. But because I know he has Fire Blast, I know it would seem too appealing for him to stay in and try to Fire Blast me. But my Scissor is max speed, and I know that I'm going to take him out with a Choice Banded U-turn. So that works perfectly according to plan. And of course, if I had decided to come in with Azumarill, I'm pretty sure he would have switched. So I decided to go into Smeargle, and this is where I start making some really stupid mistakes. Sending out Smeargle in a Sandstorm is a really horrible idea because I already broke my Focus Sash, and that ends up screwing me later down the road, as we'll see. And of course, if Heliolisk would have landed that Focus Blast, my Smeargle would have been instantly dead. But luckily, I'm able to avoid it, and I get a Spore off. So I decided this is a good opportunity to, you know, get a Hazard up, but I only get one up. I get Sticky Web because I'm scared that it'll wake up and kill me with a Focus Blast, because I'm certain that's what he's going to do, and I figure while it's still asleep, I can get a safe switch into Excadrill. But that's not how it works, because of course Heliolisk wakes up on the turn I switch it in, and Focus Blasts me, lands it this time, and completely destroys it. Excadrill does not take Focus Blast, or that Focus Blast, very well at all, and Heliolisk is faster than my Excadrill, so it's able to just surf it and take it out. So, terrible use of Excadrill. I was just making terrible plays all over the place. So I go into Charizard, and the reason being because I saw already that he has Surf and Focus Blast, so I can only assume that the rest of his moves are Electric type. And I know that my Mega Charizard can take most of those hits pretty darn convincingly. Yeah, so I just go ahead and take the opportunity to set up, get a Dragon Dance off there. So I'm at +1. Sitting pretty nice here. I'm hoping to start some kind of sweep, or, you know, at least take out a couple of his Pokemon. So I take that thing out with a nice Earthquake. Send that thing packing. and he decides to send out his Klefki next to get out a priority Toxic. And it ends up helping him out a lot more than I thought it would, because he has that Slowbro, which I did not expect to be as much of a problem as it was. So I go ahead and go for the Earthquake, because I figure a +1 would take it out, but I get that crit, and that actually ends up, I found out later, it does matter. That Earthquake would not have taken out Klefki had that not been a crit. And I didn't go for the Flare Blitz because I didn't want to take the recoil damage on top of Toxic damage. So he sends out his Ampharos next, his Mega Amphi. And I don't think this was a very good decision on his part because, of course, Mega Amphi gains Dragon type when it Mega Evolves. And I, you know, of course, have Outrage, and I'm a +1, Sticky Web went off and decreased that thing's speed. And a Tough Claw's Outrage for Mega Charizard is, of course, going to be enough to take out Mega Amphi. What he should have done is what he did next, in my opinion. He sends out Slowbro here and stalls me out. But, to his credit, I wouldn't have been locked into Outrage had he not sent out Amphi first. Because at this point, he can just sit here and stall me out and I have no other options. Whereas if he would have sent out Slowbro first, I probably would have switched out. But sacrificing your Mega for something like that is usually a pretty big cost. Although he is taking out my Mega too. So either way, he's able to just sit here and protect because he has Leftovers Recovery and I'm taking Toxic damage. And there's really nothing I can do. So I decide to let Charizard just sit here and die, essentially, because he's in sort of a bad state, and I don't think I'm really going to need him anymore for the rest of the battle, because all he has left is Alamar after this. And I figure, you know, I've got Scissor for both of them, so I might as well stall out some Trick Room turns and wait for that to wear off. So I decided to go into Scissor now and try to kill it with U-turn, because I figure I can soak anything it's going to do. But that's not how it turns out, because, you know, Trick Room, of course, is still up, and Daniel carries Scald on Slowbro, which is a very good decision, and gets the burn off. And that was just so frustrating, because now my Scissor's not going to be able to take out the Slowbro, just barely. And I go back for Azumarill, because since the still is in Trick Room, I figure I could probably take out that little sliver of health with an Aqua Jet, a Life Orb to Aqua Jet, because I don't want him to Scald my Azumarill too, but it just doesn't kill it. That Slowbro is just too tanky. And yeah, and he didn't even end up going for Scald in the first place, so I should have just went for the Waterfall right from the start. And the reason I go for the Waterfall, because I'm about to use Waterfall here, the reason I go for that instead of Play Rough is because I'm scared of missing with Play Rough and getting burned, because I'm still way too terrified of the burn after my Scissor was made useless by it. So Slowbro's just putting in the work here. I finally get the Waterfall off, and I know it's going to kill it, because Azumarill is a very powerful Pokemon, even if it's a resisted hit. So finally take that Slowbro down. And he sent out his Malamar, which is his last Pokemon, of course. And I figure I have got a shot here because I have Azumarill, Scissor, and Smeargle left. But of course, Malamar gets the boost from Sticky Web because of Contrary, and he's going to Hypnosis my Azumarill. Man, it's just really unfortunate. So has free reign to start setting up on Azumarill. There's not really a lot I can do because, of course, Smeargle lost his Sash early on, as we saw, so I'm not really comfortable switching into Scissor because of the burn, even though it probably would have been a better decision for me to switch straight into Scissor after I got put to sleep, because then he wouldn't have been set up with those superpowers, because of course he's getting defense boosts with each superpower as well. So I go into Smeargle to put it to sleep, because then I figure I can just peck at it with Scissor until it's dead, but Daniel carries a Lumberry on his Malamar, so that sucks. And Superpower is just going to completely lay waste to Smeargle, takes it out in one fell swoop, and I've only got Scissor left, who is of course burned still. And yeah, This is pretty much my last-ditch effort. I'm just going straight for the U-turn, and Malamar is faster than me because of the sticky web, and is able to get that +2 superpower. Now he's at +3, and yeah, U-turn for 4 times the damage does absolutely nothing against +3 Malamar from a burn scissor. So that's the match. I died a burn. Scissor goes down. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, because we have a huge backlog of Pokemon battle videos that we still need to upload. This particular match took place in early December, just a little bit after Pokemon X and Y came out. So this match was pretty dated. Daniel and I have played a lot since, and I've gotten a lot better. We both have much better Pokemon and much better teams. So look out for those matches. Of course, we'll have the second match to this set up as soon as we can. And special thanks to Trainer Zabuza for recording these videos for us. He's been a great help, and a link to his channel is in the description below. Please go check him out. He has Pokemon battle videos on his channel as well. So yeah, see you next time.